Oh, what's good, my fellow deplorables? It's your boy Kevin. Welcome back to the channel. We have another woke NBA story to break down in today's video as the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, Gregg Popovich, he discusses the Nashville school shooting, and instead of blaming the aggressor, instead of blaming the trans rights activists who went into a school and took the life of 3 innocent 9-year-old kids who have not an ounce of bad blood in their body, he blames Republicans. That's right, Gregg Popovich, whose team has not made the playoffs in over 3 seasons, whose team finished in last place in the Western Conference this year, whose league, the NBA, is losing viewership left and right. He had to delve into politics because he's smart. He's an NBA coach, so he must be an expert in gun control and politics. Let's break it down. Let's see what he had to say. Here is Gregg Popovich himself on the Nashville school shooting.
Or, Lindsey Graham or Jim Jordan, whoever of them have kids or nieces or nephews or grandkids, can they imagine that happening to theirs? Are they incapable of knowing what that's like?
Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, do they have kids of their own? And can they imagine that's happening to their kids? That's a really sick thing to say. I think we have all imagined what it would be like to be put in that situation, and it's terrifying. I know I've thought about it. I have an 8-year-old son, and I have thought about it. He goes to a private Christian school himself. And it's scary, especially sending my son to a private Christian school because Christians are being attacked. And all of these woke liberals like Gregg Popovich want to act like it is African Americans, racism, or trans rights issues that are at the forefront of this country right now. And that is not the truth. The true people who are under persecution right now are actually Christians. And instead of saying, let's get mental health for these people who are suffering from mental health issues, instead of saying, let's put armed guards and armed officers at our schools to protect our children, he goes liberal, he goes woke, starts crying foul and blaming Republicans. Just another joke coming out of the NBA.
I mean, I couldn't believe it, so I wrote this thing down. This Senator Marsha Blackburn, her comment after the massacre: my office is in contact with federal, state, and local officials, and we stand ready to assist. In what? They're dead. What are you going to assist with?
How about we assist in not spending $30 to $50 billion in Ukraine in a border conflict that we have no business being involved in, and instead we spend that money on putting an armed officer in every single school in this country. Because with that dollar amount that we have sent to Ukraine, we could do that. We could put a resource officer in every single elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. Not just talking public school, private school as well. With that $30 billion plus that we have sent to Ukraine with no accountability, with no oversight, we could literally put a resource officer in every single school in the United States for the next decade, paying them about $45,000 per year. And you know damn well there are retired police, there are retired military that would love to do that job.
Cleaning up their brains off the wall, wiping the blood off the schoolroom floor. What are you going to assist with? And then there's Governor Lee. I'm sorry to go on and on, but Bill Lee. I'm closely monitoring the tragic situation. Please join us in prayer. What are you monitoring?
Probably taking in the facts, gathering data, not saying something before he knows the facts. That's what people with half a brain do. You don't just spew crap, but before knowing what happened and why it happened, you gather data, you gather facts, and you attack the issue at hand. You try to find the root cause. And the root cause in a lot of these recent situations are people with mental health issues. And I agree 100%. There shouldn't be people with mental health issues walking around with firearms, but that's hard to prevent. It's very hard to diagnose somebody in a store trying to purchase a firearm. So they're going to slip through the cracks. That's why we have to have people in schools that are armed, officers in schools, instead of crying at a podium while your team's in last place and while your league is losing viewers because of speeches like this. This speech does absolutely nothing to protect kids. He wants to virtue signal and act like he's on the moral high ground here, and that's just bullshit. He's doing nothing but preaching, trying to get accolades from the woke media, and it is a complete joke.
They're dead. Children. They're dead.
Yeah, they are. It's terrible. And in large part, it happened because these trans people are told that they are victims. They are the victims. They are the victims because Christians don't believe that they're truly a boy or truly a girl. We believe that they're the gender that they were born with. And because we believe that, they're victims. Instead of them just living their life, if they want to call themselves a boy or a girl, I don't care. It's not my prerogative. I don't give a damn what you want to call yourself if you're an adult. Just keep it out of my face and keep it out of my kids' face. Now, if you start trying to read my kids' stories, books, in front of a drag queen, then we got a problem. But as long as you do it out of my face, I'll do what I'm doing out of your face, and we can live peacefully. But instead, you have the Biden administration and you have the woke mainstream media crying foul and acting like these trans ideologues are the victim when they're really not.
Grandkids at school when I'm here at home. On the way, it goes through my mind that I hope they're going to be okay. And most of you in this room, when we were in school, we worried if Nancy would dance with us on Friday after the football game or something. That was our anxiety.
That's probably because when Gregg Popovich was in school, this trans nonsense wasn't going on. We weren't demonizing religious beliefs. We weren't demonizing people just because they're Christian. We weren't telling people they were victims because they have a mental health issue. Now remember, this is the same Gregg Popovich who said this a couple of years ago after a police-involved shooting.
I think I'm just embarrassed as a white person to know that that can happen, to actually watch a lynching. You know,
I'm embarrassed because I'm a white person and to actually watch a lynching. This is the same Gregg Popovich who cries foul every time there's a police-involved shooting before gathering facts and before gathering data. He is a clown. He is a woke liberal ideologue that only wants to cater to one side of the country's political beliefs. And that's fine. He's entitled to his political beliefs. But he's also the face of an organization that is involved in the NBA. And the NBA continues to lose viewers. The NBA is a declining business. They lose viewers every single year. This year, the All-Star Game, the NBA All-Star Game 2023 was the least watched edition in history as ratings hit a record low. This year, the women's college basketball finals between Iowa and LSU doubled the NBA's All-Star Game in viewership. That is a joke. And why do you think that is happening? Because people like Gregg Popovich, who are involved in the NBA, are woke. And the old saying goes, you go woke, you go broke, and that is in the limelight here today as the NBA's viewership numbers and ratings tank. While other aspects like collegiate sports, those ratings continue to go up. Why do you think that is? Because you don't hear college coaches getting involved in politics. They shut up. They know we want to watch sports to escape. We want to watch sports to escape the political narrative and just enjoy ourselves for the duration of that game. But the NBA can't do that. They have to put Black Lives Matter on their jerseys. They have to put equality on the floor, equity on the floor. And that is bullshit. Equity is not given. Equity is earned. You're not given equity. Everybody has the right in this country to fight to have a better life. That's the definition of America. But not shit is given to you in America or anywhere else in this world. And if we're going to have safer schools, it's not going to be because we take guns away from everybody in this country. That's not going to stop shit because criminals will find a way to possess a firearm. What we have to do is maybe focus on using some of our taxpayer money and not sending that money all to Ukraine, $30 billion to Ukraine, and use some of that money to protect our kids and protect our schools. Put a resource officer in every school, and this may have been prevented. Terrible tragedy. We had a sick trans wacko go into that school and take the life of 3 innocent 9-year-olds. I have a 9-year-old kid myself, and I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. I've thought about this situation, and it is terrible. Gregg Popovich is a clown. That's a fact. We knew that before this. We for sure know that now. Instead of focusing on winning basketball games, he wants to open his mouth and spew diarrhea that isn't factual. If you take every gun off the street, that's probably still would have happened, even if that person had to go in there with some other type of weapon. Let me know what you think in the comments. Love you guys. Catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.